today will be at 4:20. Tomorrow morning, the first day of Hanukkah, we're davening at 6:10, 6:45, and 7:45. Now for a very quick Devar Torah. Uh, this week's Parsha, Miketz, is about Yosef getting back with his brothers. That Yosef's goal was to be with his brothers. If you and he's trying to reunite the family. So this week, everything that Yosef does is actually an attempt to get the brothers to realize that they are brothers. If you look at last week's parsha, when Yosef's on his way to his brothers, he's asked, "What is your goal?" And it's said that that's the angel Gabriel who's asking the question. And Yosef says, "I'm looking for my brothers." He knows where his brothers are, but mentally he wants to be with his brothers. And then everything seems to be happening by happenstance. His brothers kidnap him, they try to kill him, they decide, no, we'll sell him, etc., etc. And this week, Yosef has to learn another important lesson. Besides that, he wants to be with his brothers, and they have to make tshuva for what they did, but that everything's in Hashem's hands. Because Yosef, when last week's parsha ends, what does he do? He's relying on somebody else to get him out of prison. And that person forgets about him. He leaves him stuck in prison. And then when does remember him, he doesn't say it nicely about Yosef. He calls him an Eved Ivri, a Hebrew slave. Whenever the term Ivri is used in the Torah, from this point on, it's a derogatory way. It's saying something less than a full Jew. So that it's a very derogatory thing. There was basic translation of that should be, when I was in the big house, there was this Jew boy sitting there with me. The guy didn't like him. Yosef had to learn that it's in Hashem's hands and that he had to be patient, but he also had to keep his eye on the ball and see what is my main goal. And that's what we learned from this week. One of the things we learned from this week's parsha. Something to remember, something to think about, Kaddish Rabbanim.